Hey everybody. Hey, just wanted to say first off, thank you for taking the time to view this video. Is really appreciated. Really over the last couple of days, I've just been fighting with myself and fighting with life, looking to figure out what it is that I really want to get out of producing this company that we're growing from the ground up. And I found myself on a phone call expressing my concerns, expressing my passion, expressing my hurts and my pain to my mentor, who's actually from the publishing industry. He's been teaching me a lot. Have I been listening? I have. Have I been successful at it? No. But he has always been there to encourage and to say to me, hey, you can do it. This is an all new process for you, but you have what it takes to grow. You have the vision that it takes to make something great happen. The problem that you're going to run into is that everyone's not going to see it and everyone's not going to be on board with you. And I began to expound on how my team and everything, how this thing's going up and down. And he gave me a couple of different points about what I was going through, and I thought I would share it with you today. In fact, I've already shared a couple of blog posts about it, so you can go ahead and visit www.evomag.co and take a look at those blog posts. As we begin to grow our businesses and we begin to try to achieve the success that we desire, we already know that we have to build a team. We have to build a working organization. We can't carry the load on our own. It's impossible. It is simply impossible for you to carry the load on your own. However, in order to grow an effective team in the industry that you're looking to grow your team, you have to take a look at yourself first. I'll repeat that again. You have to take a look at yourself first. And then you'll realize a couple of things. You'll realize who you are and who you are not. And one of the points that my mentor made to me was, how do you realize what kind of leader you are? Or let me rephrase it. He taught me a big thing about what kind of leader I am not. See, I've been going through life learning how to be a leader and how to lead people. I've gone through classes of college and all that stuff. I've experienced, I've run companies, I've failed in companies, I've done all these different things. But in this conversation, he says to me, what leadership skills or qualities don't you have? And then from there, realize that you're not that type of leader, so don't try to be it. Don't try to make yourself something that you're not. You're in a whole new industry. And what worked in this past industry, what worked in this other organization may not necessarily be what it is that you as a leader need here and today. The second thing that he began to speak on was, as a leader, of a startup, you begin to look around and see who can you put into key places, who can you add to the organization, and at the same time build upon their strengths so that you can build your organization more effectively. And oftentimes what we've done is what we end up doing is we end up accepting people that aren't necessarily okay with accepting you. And I'll say that and say that I said this to say for a reason. You see, everyone that comes in contact with your vision and what it is that you want may see their position in your vision, but they may not want to sacrifice like you have to sacrifice in order for them to achieve their goals. Or furthermore, they may have their own set agenda, and as a result of their own set agenda, you find them only doing part of what you ask them to do. You find them only doing a certain aspect of what it is that you required of them versus what it is that you laid in as to be the vision for your company. So when he taught me this lesson, he goes, you need to learn the difference between compromise and compassion. You need to learn the difference between compromise and compassion. What we find ourselves doing is, because we have a need, we find ourselves grabbing hold of people that aren't necessarily following the vision, doing what it is that you need to do. And you end up, because of your compassion for their situation, because of your compassion for the organization, because of your compassion for where you want to be, you compromise your vision. And at the end of the day, what you'll find is that you are stressed. You are not seeing your vision come to pass because you have compromised your own vision in order to stay friendly with someone that you hired. I didn't think that I had that in me. I didn't think that that was something that I had to deal with until he brought that to light. The third thing that we learned the other day was, failure and freedom walk hand in hand. Did you know that? Did you know that freedom and failure walk hand in hand? I was quite thrown away by that very statement, but then I thought about it. Freedom and failure come hand in hand. In order to obtain the freedoms that you desire through success, there are going to be times of extreme failure. There are going to be times of little failures. There are going to be times where you didn't do things the way you thought you should have, or someone else thought you should have. There are going to be times of failure. But then when I begin to ponder this in my head and begin to ponder this, and I began to write this blog out, I thought about something. There is a great link between failure and freedom. That great link between failure and freedom is risk. And a lot of the people that look at you and they say that you failed never took the risk that you took in order to obtain the freedom that you desire. So when you learn that failure and freedom come at a coexistence, they live in the same zip code. They're the same type. They're almost like yin and yang. In essence, that in order to have the freedom through success, you're going to approach failure. So the question is, what do you do from failure? Do you embrace it? Yes. The second thing that you do in dealing with failure, first thing is you embrace it. The second thing that you do is you learn from it. And it is in that learning process that you begin to understand what it is that you can or cannot do. What it is that you're able to accomplish through your own powers or through the powers and the efforts of your organization and your team. It is through this education that you begin to understand the process that it takes to achieve the goals that you have. In discovering the light bulb, Thomas Edison had a very profound quote. When people asked him about how many times he failed, it was said something around 10,000 prototypes prior to the one that actually worked. And his answer to their question was really, really profound. I didn't fail 10,000 times. I found 10,000 wrong ways of doing or achieving the goal that I had. Think about that. Is that it wasn't a failure, but an education process. And finally, the last thing he taught me or we spoke about was, why should you give blank what other people say about you? And that, my friend, is a motivational situation. You see, when you begin to stop thinking and worrying about what it is people think about you and what they're going to say about you, what they're not going to like about you, when you can get past the people problem, you're free to take the risk that it takes in order to have the freedom that you desire. When you forget about what people are saying or thinking about you, you'll learn that you don't have to compromise your vision in order to keep your compassion. In fact, it will drive your compassion, will drive your vision so much that you begin to do things. It's the late nights. You'll start having more dreams about what you can do to help people, but you won't be worried about what that so-and-so would say about you if you address a problem. You won't be worried about what people would say about you should you fail. You'll take the risk that it takes. When you stop thinking about what people say and how they feel about you, you'll stop believing the things that they say. Thus, your confidence is never shattered any longer because someone doesn't like what you've accomplished. Someone doesn't like what you said. Someone doesn't like where you've gone. Someone doesn't like what you do. They will talk about you either way. So why would you care? No, stop, friend. Stop. Think about it. Stop thinking about what it is that they think about you. Rather, replace those thoughts about what you think about yourself. How do you feel about yourself? Yes, you are a champion. Yes. You are somebody that is going to achieve their goals. Someone is going to achieve their success. There is nothing that anyone out there can do to hinder you. The only person standing in your way between here you are and where you want to be is yourself. And how you think and view yourself. Never, ever allow the words or the thoughts of others deter you from taking a risk and achieving your dreams. You see, I had to find out the hard way myself. So, in essence, when you stop thinking about what people would think about you and what they're saying about you, yes, you may lose some friends. Yes, you may gain some enemies, but I tell you what, friend, you'll gain a lot of freedom, and that is priceless. Well, until next time, I thank you for taking a look at this particular video. I thank you for taking the time to listen to me rant and rave about the conversation that I had with my mentor. Hey, while you're at it, take some time. Click the link, www.evomag.co. Take a look at the rest of the blog. And after you've taken that time, look over to the side there and hit the like button if you haven't already liked Evolution Magazine. Look forward to talking with you next time. Thank you.